Hey yo, I'm focused. Cash me out in London speaking Polish. Having money on my mind and having money in my pocket. Bone marrow roasted, spread it on the rosemary bread, lightly toasted. Drizzle with the vinaigrette, stuffed Dutchess and it's pulling like a cigarette.
What's up YouTube, it's your boy. In this episode we'll be talking about the price of Bitcoin, what is likely to happen over the next 24 to 48 hours, as well as some crypto news and some upcoming events that you guys can make money on. So let's get into it. First of all, we can see here that we are still within this downward trend, and as I mentioned previously, this purple line is the 200 EMA, and it has been some resistance for us, as well as this diagonal resistance line here. So hopefully we do break above this white line here, which is the 20 EMA, and then we break above this diagonal resistance line, and then finally we would hopefully break out and flip this as support, this 200 period EMA. So something, you know, like this hopefully would happen. This current price action for Bitcoin does look very similar to the Wyckoff accumulation, and I'm just going to put something on the screen now just to show you guys what that looks like. It basically, if we go to a different chart really quick, basically this whole accumulation phase from 2019 to 2020 is another example of the Wyckoff accumulation phase. And yeah, if you guys look at the screen now, I'm sure you can see the similarities. But yeah, back to today's price action for Bitcoin. So as I was saying, we currently are having a bit of a pullback, which was to be expected. Looking at the stochastic, we are within a bullish wave, and we have broken out above this 35,000 level, and currently we are retesting it. So that is a good sign, and who knows how far we will dip. On the 4 hour we did get rejected by the 200 EMA, but all is looking okay. So, you know, it's a bit too early to say whether we will continue to go up, but I think once this China news has, you know, passed and the hash rate goes back to normal, which we'll also talk about in a bit more detail, then we can start to see a market recovery. Looking at Ethereum as well, a similar price action here with, you know, these two large double bottoms here, but we still have the long-term down trend, and we would hopefully look to break that and then set higher highs. So everything is just dependent on Bitcoin, but in general here we can start to see an exodus of prices, and yeah, red candles. So anyway, we're going to be talking about how to make some money. So I will first go over to this website called DAO Maker. Okay guys, so we're going to be talking about how to make money, and then in the later part of the video we'll be talking about some crypto news and, you know, what's currently going on with the crypto space. But basically this is a top tier pre-sale website. Okay, it speaks for itself really. If you look at the screen now, there'll be a sort of graph. There'll be an ROI of 3 different pre-sale websites. So I think that includes DAO Maker, Poker Starter, and then Ignition, so from the paid network. It doesn't include CoinList. CoinList has been pants recently, but anyway, it shows you that DAO Maker has actually had the best ROI on average out of, you know, all of the different websites that I showed you. Bearing in mind one pre-sale from, I think, Ignition to like a 13x or so, you'll see on the screen now. But generally this website tends to have the better ROI. The only caveat is that it's not a guaranteed allocation. The more you stake, the more you get for your tokens. So how it works, these are the upcoming allocations. Okay, seed is basically, you don't get all of your tokens at once, you get them released linearly, you know, on a monthly basis. So let's say, well, let's just click on this for example. You click on Game Starter. I'm not going to go over what this does, but I recommend you guys do your research. But yeah, let's say, so first of all, you need to stake at minimum 500 DAO tokens 500 is the least, but I would try to stake 1,000 or 1.5 or 2k, to be honest. And yeah, if you do get in, then you get a $1,000 allocation, which is around £750 or so. So, imagine getting, on average, what's the ROI? If we go back to our moon sheet, the average ROI for the DAO pad is around 7.5x. So, you'd be sitting comfy if you were to get in. So, I don't actually know the deadline for when you need to stake this. You guys will need to do some independent research. I'm just here bringing you the opportunities. But anyway, you need to stake your coins on the platform, and you have to stake for, I believe, either 10 or 14 days. How you would do that is you go to vaults here. You need to buy the token. So you would go to either Uniswap or CoinGecko. You type in DAO, DAO, like so. And gas fees are low right now, so you can use Uniswap if you like. I'm sure fees would only be a couple dollars or so. So you want to stake, anywhere from 1,000 to 500 tokens, which it can be a lot, but it's worth it if you do get in. You can see here Launchpad, and also while you are staking, you are also earning yield. So it's not a wasted use of your capital. Let's say you're still earning some funds on that. So that is good news. But why I also wanted to bring this up is because of this. Okay, so I'm just going to briefly go over it. But Infinity Pad, they are an upcoming launch pad, and I know there's been a number of launch pads, but the difference with this launchpad and the rest of them is that this launchpad is an airdrop. Okay, so it's spearheaded by some well-known people in crypto, some of them being Crypto Daily. I'm not sure if you've seen his videos. He does like meme, humorous content. Altcoin Sherpa is a big Twitter account that posts about crypto. I don't know the rest of these people, but the point remains. Okay, so if you want to get access to this pre-sale or this airdrop, then you need to stake your tokens, and the snapshots will be taken from the 1st of July to the 5th of July. And depending on how much of this coin is staked, then that's how much your airdrop will be worth. So if your airdrop is basically the same value as the amount contributed on the BSC pad, then you get your money doubled. And if your funds are anywhere near the Tron pad allocation, then you get 63% of your funds staked. So in this situation, I think it makes more sense to stake a lot more of your funds, as well as being eligible for the pre-sale that I was telling you guys about, Game Starter. So in the best world, or in a best situation, you would get both allocations. That would be very ideal, but you have to roll the dice. The good thing about the DAO token as well is that it has actually been holding its value. It hasn't really gone down too much. Yes, from the from the May crash, it's gone down quite significantly, but ever since then it's been holding its value more or less. So for the 10 to 14 days that you do want to stake, I don't believe you will see further downside, because it's already down 75%. Who knows? They did have a token burn recently, which hasn't done much for the price, but in terms of the scarcity of the token, it does increase it slightly. Excuse me, guys. Okay, so that is the iPad or Infinity Pad airdrop. So do stay aware for that. If you guys don't know how to stake it, just go on the website. Okay, so in terms of other news, basically, I'm not sure if you guys have seen my other content, but initially I was talking about the Puer multiple, and it's a good indicator of when to buy Bitcoin. And if we look at this chart here, it basically shows us that the Puer multiple is now in the buy territory, and this doesn't happen very often. Okay, yes, I know that this news or this signal has followed the the China FUD, the Elon Musk FUD, this energy uses FUD of Bitcoin. But just looking back historically, this has been such an accurate indicator for the price of Bitcoin and plotting its historic lows compared to the rest of the market. You can see in the 2012 to 2013 bull market, it came in this area twice, and both times it basically spotted the bottom. Did the same thing in 2013 or early 2014, 2015 as well, did the same thing. 2018, you can see here. Then 2020, the March crash that we had, as well as the August capitulation. And now it's showing us again that it's a good time to buy Bitcoin. So that's why the other day, I'm sounding like a posh professor. That's why the other day, I'm joking, guys. But yeah, I have actually got back into the markets now. Previously, I'd been in stable coins, just earning some yield, but I'm thinking that maybe the manipulation and the price suppression is gone. So who knows? One thing I have learned though is to have a stop loss, because I do want to get wrecked again. Like I got wrecked. A lot of people got wrecked, and yeah, we're not trying to get wrecked. We're trying to get rich. But yeah, now supposedly is a good time to buy Bitcoin. So yeah, there is a caveat that, you know, this whole China thing could continue to go on, but you can't have reward without taking risk. Okay, so bear that in mind. Okay, the next article covers Elon Musk and what he brings to crypto, mainly his education about Bitcoin's carbon footprint. Now, this is a double-edged sword, because I don't think he adds much value to crypto. In January times, yeah, he was everyone's favorite person, you know, the world's richest man. Starts talking about Bitcoin, he adds Bitcoin to Tesla's balance sheet. Bitcoin starts going up like crazy. Everyone's making stupid money. Then all of a sudden, he's had his fun. He decides to just play with people's lives, and you know, a lot of people got wrecked off of this. So I don't like that, you know. And it's very contradictory, the fact that he talks about Bitcoin's clean energy consumption, but I'm sure Tesla's energy footprint isn't perfect. So why would you decide to? It just doesn't make sense, you know. It doesn't make sense, and now it just creates an extra barrier for Bitcoin to be adopted, and I just don't think it was necessary. You know, I don't think it was necessary, but hey, it is what it is. So that is that, guys. So to conclude, keep an eye out for the Game Starter airdrop. Let's rewind that. Keep an eye out for the Game Starter token allocation. You would need to stake your tokens. Do some further research. Have a look at their Twitter, their Telegram, and then also you want to stake your tokens for the iPad airdrop. So not only would you get potentially 100% of what you've staked, but also going forward, when the iPad or Infinity Pad Launchpad is actually active, then your tokens can be used in order to get access to more pre-sales, which is just a win-win. So hopefully this is the bounce back that the market needs. You can hear the desperation in my voice. Okay, I really need this, guys. I need this. Okay, I'm joking. But yeah, that is the main part of the video. Before I end it, let me just quickly do a recap. Okay, we can look at the tokenomics. So a lot of the tokens have actually been allocated to seed investors, which is a bit of a worrisome sign. I won't lie to you guys. You want to be seeing more of that in the community, or at least in the token sale. So you can see only 4.25% was actually allocated to the public. So it's not the best in terms of the tokenomics. Advisors to get 6%, the teams getting 15%, the development and the community incentives collectively get around 35% or so. So hey, it is what it is, and this gives you a visualization of the token release schedule, here being that the seed investors, they they get a linearly released token schedule, and yeah, it's pretty much the same thing for the public seed investors. So the one good thing about this token though is that we are getting in at dirt cheap prices, like dirt cheap prices. So you can see here that for public, the seed, I mean, they say seed, but it's not really seed. It's like, if with the final round of raises, then we're basically the public sell. So they use all these terms, but is what it is. But anyway, we're getting in at a price of 8 cent, okay? And you can see here the lockup schedule. So 20% is unlocked at the token generation event, and then 20% on a quarterly basis. So from this $1,000, you would get $2,000 worth of your allocation whenever it goes live on Uniswap. So let's say it was to do the average of around 7.5x of, as we've seen on the DAO Maker platform, that $200 could potentially turn into $1,400, and then you would get the rest of your token allocation every quarter. The only caveat with that, so first of all, yes, you'd most likely make all your money back as soon as you sell the first time, which I do recommend selling and not hodling because crazy times. But after that, most likely the token would go down in value. So yeah, it works out that you make your money back. It just takes time, but so long as, yeah, it works out. Really, it works out. The tokenomics could be better, but it does work out. You can see here the roadmap. I'm not gonna go over all of it. You guys will just do your research. But yeah, it's looking like an interesting token to get into as well. Also, I believe CoinList, they have announced another pre-sale. I can't actually think of the name off the top of my head. Let me bring it up. It's some weird obscure name, like it's got Quadrara. I honestly have no clue. Let me log in really quick. Here we are, guys. So CoinList will be having another token sale for Credro. Excuse me if I'm pronouncing this wrong. In terms of the date for this sale, this will be on the 8th of July, so next week or the week after that. And yeah, it's we'll play the video in a bit. Just want to quickly go over what this is. So they're audited, they're verified, and they're insured. Not that that means much, but let's have a look at the team. Well, you guys can do your own research, but in terms of the token allocation, so minimum allocation or minimum investments, is $100 and maximum investment is $500. There's 1 billion tokens in total. Out of the total supply, 3% will be sold in option 1 and 1% will be sold in option 2. And the number of tokens to be sold in option 1 is 30 million. The number of tokens to be sold in option 2 is 10 million. The price of option 1 is 50 cents and the price of option 2 is 22.5 cents. Okay, so for option 1 there's a 2-month lockup, and then after that I do believe you get your tokens and they should be freely tradable. The one thing I do not like about CoinList is the way they hold tokens. I'm not sure if you guys have noticed, but this has been a reoccurring pattern, okay? It's happened with Casper Labs, it happened with Covalent, the pre-sale I was in. Basically, what they do is, all these VCs, they'll sell early on you. Like, as soon as the token launches, it goes to a ridiculous number. Then they dump their bags, and then after that dumpage, they give you your tokens. Like, here, we've had our fill. Here you go, have the scraps, okay? And this happened with Covalent. It went to $40 on KuCoin as soon as it listed. Now I'm sure that wasn't the real price, but I was seeing it go as high as like $2, $1.60 or so, and I was only able to get access to it at around 90 cents, which is like 2.5x. But yeah, that's just a little rant. Don't want to get too worked up. Looking at the token allocation for this Credro coin here, we can see here that, I mean, it's looking actually quite good. In general, the total percentage allocated to the public sale is only 4%, which is not good. I was hoping for at least 5%, 6%. So it sort of gives an indication of what sort of numbers this token could do. The team has 22%. Advisors 3.7%. Seed 21.3%. So I mean, hey, if you are to get into this token sale, it's still worth doing, because that sort of ROI in that short space of time, that 2-month period, I doubt you're gonna get that anywhere unless you're very, very good at trading. But yeah, a lot of the token allocations and the money invested in this protocol will be going to investors and then to their team. At least half of the liquidity and capital goes to the investors and the team. So it's not the best. And even though 11% was actually, or is actually being sold in general, only 4% is being sold to the public. So take from that what you will. It's not the best tokenomics in my opinion, same as GameStarter. But what other option do we have, guys? What other option do we have? So yeah, just bear that in mind. Before we end the video, we'll have a look at some of their strategic partners. So they have Deribit, they have Celsius, both well-known names in crypto, Coinbase, and then Nexo. So potentially they could get listed on Coinbase in the future. Who knows? Backed by crypto's finest. So they have been backed by Spartan Capital. I do know them, and unfortunately I'm not so familiar with the rest of the other companies. But let's just play a quick clip finding out what they do.
A new global market is emerging, one powered by community, accessible to all, promising innovation in how we capture, share, and trade value. But despite the advances in decentralized finance, crypto infrastructure lags behind, giving rise to a fragmented marketplace. Imagine a world where any asset can be transferred to anyone instantly, where any layer 1 asset can be swapped without wrapping or pegging, and where assets can move freely from self-custody wallets to exchanges and DeFi protocols without sacrificing security. Credo has revolutionized asset ownership for the digital age, pioneering the first decentralized custody network, secured with trustless MPC technology. The network is the vault. Mainnet is live. Join the Credo network today.
Okay, so that's that, guys. Gives you a closer look on what this token does. Like I said, the tokenomics aren't that sexy, but if you're roasting, you might as well take what you're given. Weird analogy, but you guys get what I'm saying. So yeah, to recap, the DAO maker is having an airdrop. The snapshots will be taken from the July 1st to July 5th, as well as them having a token sale for GameStarter. And then we have this as well as Bitcoin supposedly being at a historical bottom for the relative time that's in. So bring on the bullishness, bring on the gains, and yeah, see you guys soon. Bye.